going on, guys? Luke, Chip to Strength here. Today, this video is geared towards the brand new beginner that's just stepping foot in the gym. I want to give you a full walkthrough of all the different types of equipment you're going to encounter and what's going to most likely be in your programming. We're going to take a look at how to assemble certain pieces of equipment, what certain pieces of equipment are designed for, and just give you a sense of calmness when you get in the gym because you already have an idea of what you're up against. We're going to do this video on the fly, so let's get rolling right into it. First things first, you're going to have your mobility and warm-up area. We start here. Take our 5 to 10 minutes to warm up and stretch. Talking about the specific pieces of equipment, foam rollers, different thicknesses, all right, you're gonna find. So this, we got a PVC pipe. This is gonna be the most intense, okay? So foam rollers are designed to help relieve and temporarily relieve muscle tightness by facilitating pressure on the muscles. You're gonna actually hold that specific point. I have a whole nother video discussing this if you don't watch that, but for now, just keeping it simple, right? So obviously you're gonna use that for the rolling. The general area here, you got some free weights. Moving on, let's take a look at the all-important squat rack. So this piece of equipment is gonna be in your programming at some point. Maybe the first couple weeks, maybe after you've mastered the basics, you might transition to it, but you're gonna come across this, so let's go over the all-important squat rack here. Number one is setup. So you wanna have hooks where the barbell is resting on, right in line with your shoulder. So set that up first. Second of all, we got our safeties. Move those in a position so that when we squat down, we squat and we just have enough clearance that if we, in the event that we couldn't get that weight back up, it's gonna catch the weight for us so we don't get trapped underneath it, right? We can use the squat cage for so many different things. We can use it for overhead presses. We can use it for squats. We can use it for bench presses. We can use it for split squats. The possibilities are really endless and you're gonna use the squat rack a lot, all right? People ask me, how much does the barbell weigh? Also, the barbell weighs 45 pounds, all right? Or 20 kilos, depending on the specific barbell. But keep that in mind when you're doing it, that 45 base and then plus the weight you're adding, okay? Last thing with the squat rack I want to talk about more in particular is the barbell, is making sure, guys, you're clipping the weights on. So you're gonna find clips in and around that may look like this. They may be a different type of clip, but always clip your weights, right? The only time I wouldn't clip an exercise is if you're by yourself doing a bench press, because at that point you can actually dump the weight. More of an advanced technique, but in general, use the clips. So moving on now, you got your cable machines, all right? Lots of versatility here, lots of different attachments. It may look overwhelming, to be honest, when you first come and looking at this type of apparatus, but you got your pull-ups you can do, you got all the different types of handles we can use as well. Quickly, how to set up and change a cable fly machine or any type of pulley setup. Most times you're gonna have a hook where you pull out and then adjust to the desired area where you want to use it. We can use this for all sorts of things. We can use it for tricep pushdowns. We can use it with the other one across to do some type of chest exercise. The combinations are really endless, and that's why I really like the cable machines. Usually after I'm doing my core-based movements, so I'm doing my deadlifts, my squats, my bench presses, I finish those up, then I come over and do the cable machines. We got seated cable rows here, so you'll find some places will have 2 pulleys and some will have 1. So the difference being is having 2 pulleys actually doubles up the amount of weight. So if you want to come in and check this out for a second. So right now we have 42.5 on here. Now, that is double the weight because we actually have 2 pulleys. Keep that in mind. If we were on a single cable, we would just have the 1 amount of weight, all right? Here's another little tip. These weights right here, 5 pounds. We can add them over top of a machine. So quickly adding in that weight there, that's gonna amp things up because you can see it goes from 50 to 60. That's a pretty big jump, so adding a 5-pound plate just makes it that much easier. You're gonna find an assortment of machines depending on what gym location you have, so another type of pulley system here. But moving on to the all-important dumbbell area, okay? So first thing, you're gonna find a lot of different benches so you can set up. So setting up a bench when we're doing dumbbell or even some barbell-based movements, Oftentimes, if you have an adjustable bench, you'll be able to move it up Okay, so you just pull the lever out to the side and then change that angle, right? You put it down. You're also gonna be able to change out the position where you have your butt planted. Now that's gonna help actually provide some stability, because the more we actually increase where we place the positioning of the pad, the more it's actually gonna situate us back into the pad, provide just that extra stability. So when I'm first like training with someone or a new client, I'll generally put the pad up relatively high just to support them as they learn how to do the specific movement. So that's what I recommend for you guys. Depending on what gym you have, you're gonna have different variations of dumbbells, and it will depend on, you know, how much the weight goes up. But in general, you have, you know, going up in 2.5 pound increments. I'll actually show you. So you start off with the one end. We'll have obviously with the lightest weight, and then it's going to transition up to heavier as we go, increasing the weights by 2.5 pounds, and then once we get to a certain point, it goes up by 5. But use that to your advantage. When you're overloading your training and you're trying to add more weight to your exercises, try not to jump too high up. Try not to add 10 pounds every time. The 2.5 pound increments are there for a reason, and that's to slowly advance your training over time. Right, so that's a wrap on what a gym looks like and what type of equipment you're gonna encounter. Hope you got some use out of the video. If you're still unsure of some of the equipment or how to use it, feel free to send me a message, leave a comment, like, and subscribe to see more upcoming videos, especially geared towards beginners.